We are live.
Right. All right. What's going on? Happy New Year. From the Bread and Hope Show to everybody. Happy New Year. We are back. 2025. Let's go. Let's go.
2025.
2025. 2025. What it is, Hope?
Hey man, Happy New Year, man.
Happy
Hey,
New
just
Year. Happy New Year.
yeah, we've been doing the show for many years, but I think this year is gonna be even better
Yeah,
than
it
last.
will. It will, man. It's gonna be monumental year this year, man. It's gonna be great. I can feel it in my bones, man. I can feel it in my bones. Just like 2021. 2021 was a great year for the Bread and the Hope Show.
Yes, it was.
Had a World Series and National Championship all in one season.
Yeah, man, that was fun. That was very, it was real fun. We were doing the show when all that was taking place. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, how often does that happen? How often does that happen? So at least in Georgia. It didn't happen in Georgia. It didn't happen in Georgia ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So happy to have that. So we'll be talking about Georgia soon enough. Any rate, at any rate, we are down here in the South. I know that the Northeast been hit with some weather, some winter weather. Down here in Georgia, we've been escaping winter weather for a number of years, probably 10 years to be exact. And so since what they call it Snowmageddon, last snowstorm or last snow event that we had here in Atlanta at least. And
Yeah.
everybody was stuck on the roads, all that kind of stuff. And couldn't get home. People had to stay in hotels if they could, hotel lobbies, all sorts of things until until it froze out or thawed out.
Yeah.
So hopefully there will be no Snowmageddon on Friday. Everybody kind of knows we're gonna have some kind of event, freezing rain, mixed snow, whatever. It's gonna be a yucky day on Friday. So it's not like we don't know.
Well, I advise everyone here where we live on Friday to just get your favorite snacks and whatever else you
Yeah,
whatever that makes you feel happy in the house and kick back and watch some Netflix.
yeah. Favorite comfort food. It will be a comfort food weekend.
Absolutely.
It will definitely be a comfort food weekend. Get your favorites and go for it. So, so that's something definitely we will be doing. So this weekend.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining the Bread and Hope Show. And hey, brand new year. If it's your first time listening to us, we are based in Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about sports primarily in the state of Georgia. But hey, wherever you're from, feel free to tune in to the Bread and Hope Show. And we can talk about your favorite team unless you're an Aints fan. But anybody else, welcome to the show. We don't do Aints on this show. We just don't. We'll do Florida Gators. We'll do, we'll do even Alabama fans,
Right.
even Cowboy fans. We'll do that. But don't do Aints. You just have to sit back and listen. Try to call in if you want. Chat us if you want. We don't do Aints fans on this show.
Right. Right.
So Hova, what you got?
Well, I just want to first of all thank our listeners and new listeners for tuning in. As always, you can check out our website www.sportsandbrews.com where we have real live sports content as well as beer content. And also, you can check out the Bread and Over Show Facebook group. We post different things related to sports world, and if you interested in being part of our little community or networking team, uh, hit us up, and we'll hook you up, and you can be a part of the Bread and Hova Show group community. Um, Other than that, man, let's get on into it.
Yeah, hey, can't
Oh,
forget
quick
we.
shout out! Got to give a shout
Yep,
out to Lou.
yep.
Lou,
Lou.
as always, got to give a shout out to Lou for supporting the Bread and Hova Show.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, he'll be joining us later on.
indeed. So look, Hova. You probably don't watch wrestling anymore, and I've just started back watching wrestling. Like I don't know, a few years ago. I know I'll take it back. The pandemic got me back in the wrestling. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the sports world,
Yeah,
and I think that when they started to try to make a slow comeback, wrestling was one of the first, but I think air quotes, sports event that started coming back.
yeah,
And they didn't have a live audience at first. They may have some guys in the back that came out, but it was just the wrestlers. They came out, did their little thing, and it wasn't even wrestlers. It was their C team, not even their B team, C team wrestlers that came out and they carried the company,
hmm,
for about a year during the pandemic.
yeah,
So that's how I got back in it. Anyway, going all the way around the way, you just talk about give many shouts out to WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. It was their first episode on Netflix. So they've been on USA Network for, I don't know, 30, 40 years or something like that. I don't know. It's been forever. They've been on USA Network. Yes, sir. And so it was their first time on. It was so good. And look, man, it's funny. Yeah, it was so good. Kudos, man. Kudos WWE and Netflix on that. The best ever. Because um, Netflix first live showing was it sucked. Their boxing match between uh who was it? It was Mike Tyson and the Paul guy. It sucked
yeah,
to
yeah,
glory, and it was fixed anyway. Okay, it
yeah,
was fixed. It sucked. It was fixed. And the worst part about it was that it kept buffering. The quality was horrible, and then by the time you got back in, some folks like the fight was over. And then you seeing people tell you what happened if you're on social media, and like,
yeah.
golly, you're watching the fight, they telling me who won.
Right,
So
right.
it was just really really bad. So, but that Netflix had to get that act together with football because I think when the football game, all the football games on, I think Christmas was on Netflix or something like that,
Yeah, yeah,
one of
yeah,
the holidays, and so that was a good thing. And then WWE, they got even better, man. I mean, that HD, that stuff, that was crystal, probably too clear. It was like you were actually there.
mm,
So it was crystal clear. It was clean. The broadcast was good. They had probably the best matches that they've had in years, in ages
yeah,
on WWE. It was the best ever. The Rock showed up. Rain. Everything was just good. Uh, Roman Reigns. Yeet, all that stuff. Just everybody, all those star-studded. That was the good. The bad part of it, Hova, was Hulk Hogan.
no,
I'm not getting all into it, but there's been some controversial thing about Hulk Hogan and Hulk Hogan's past. A lot of people have said some things about him. He's made some racial comments in the past and all that kind of stuff. Which is, I mean, we've known this about Terry Hogan for quite some time. I mean, it's just it's him. You
So
know,
what's the bad part of with Hogan? I mean, he didn't rip his shirt off. That's his
he
thing.
ripped his shirt off, and up underneath the shirt was he was promoting a new beer, right? Some kind of some kind of promotion he was doing. It was so cheesy. He
Hmm.
came on like he normally did, like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, with Jimmy Hart,
Yeah.
waving the flag or whatever, and with the yellow and red colors. Yeah, all the stuff you grew up with as a kid. But it was just so out of place. It didn't fit with the broadcast last night. He got unmercifully booed in L.A. It was in L.A.
Hmm.
It's in California. So he got unmercifully booed. And it was so embarrassing. And everybody just booed him, shot birds at him, and just everything. You never thought, I mean, growing up with Hogan, you never thought that you would see that because he
Hmm.
literally put the brand on his back during a time to where
Right.
they needed somebody. And
Right.
Hogan was that guy for wrestling for a very long time, and he took WWE to the next level.
Right.
I mean, the facts are facts. That's what he did for it, But things happen, and nobody's perfect, but he's been doing some things and cheated on his wife and divorced and all sort of just stuff,
Yeah.
just stuff, man, and so just all that stuff coming up, and polarizing, his political views and all that kind of stuff, that's
Hmm.
just that kind of stuff gets polarized nowadays. And that's
Right.
him.
Right.
I don't take part. That's just him. People are people, and we're not going to agree on everything. And that's just what it is. And people got a right to boo him. He got I mean, that's the consequences. If you got you got a right. This America. You got a right to feel how you feel about certain things. Fine.
Right.
But if there's backlash, that's because you feel the way you. It's America. You can give them backlash as long as you don't do any bodily harm against anybody. That's just what it is. So at any rate, long story short, that's probably the ugly of it. I don't think there was anything bad about the show. It was just ugly. It just skipped the bad. Good to
Yeah.
bad, ugly. The good was the entire program until they got to Hogan. It was just
Yeah.
straight ugly and embarrassing.
Right.
Everybody's talking about it on social media. But at any rate, kudos to WWE. Hopefully, you probably missed it, but it was a good one. If you would have watched any one program of WWE, I would watch that program season 1 on Netflix. And
Okay.
the last part, I won't say the thing about it, but it is definitely Raw. It's called Monday. It's still Monday Night Raw, but it
Hmm.
is Raw. And so the language and everything that happens there is just, you know, it
Yeah.
is wrong. so you take I mean, they was straddling the line anyway, on cable television.
Yeah.
They say a couple of things, and but it is definitely raw in terms of the language and what they pick up in between the matches. And so when they're in between matches or actually within the match,
Yeah.
they say stuff to each other, the mic is catching all that stuff, which back in the day, or even last, before the holidays, you wouldn't catch
Hmm.
it between stuff unless you were actually there.
Right. Right.
So cool stuff, man.
All right. All right.
I didn't mean to go into that long about wrestling, but we hardly ever talk about wrestling.
No, it's
But
it's all good. It's all good, man. I mean, I take your word for it. Like you said, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of I've been so far gone from watching it since it's been years,
yeah,
but I get it. I mean, I
yeah,
totally get it.
yep. So let's keep it moving, man. A lot of Hawks, man. Trae Young, ice cold, baby, ice cold. I don't know if you saw the game, but even if you didn't see the Hawks play Utah Jazz, which happens to be the worst team in the league, at least one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hawks are rarely highlighted on ESPN for anything. It really Atlanta sports, period. But
Right.
especially the Hawks. And superstar Trae Young, man, he went out there, man, and I think everybody's seen it. He was the number one of top 10 players on SportsCenter yesterday,
Right.
and probably today too. We played Utah Jazz on the road, so we got like a 5-game stretch on the road on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And game was nipped up, and Sexton hit a shot. A 3-pointer at that to tie the game with the Hawks with seconds to go. And after he made that shot, nobody called a timeout. They kept pushing. Hawks took the ball, they inbounded the ball, and Trey was on the other. He was still on the other side of the line, of the half court line.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he was on the other side, man, almost in the corner. He wasn't even a straight on shot. He put the ball up, man, and that thing was just bang.
Yeah, nothing
the bottom of the net, man.
Net.
Ball game.
Yeah, man. I mean, to his credit, man, that's one thing you can count on is he can shoot he can shoot the 3 ball. He can shoot it. And I saw the highlight, and yeah, I was very impressed with the way that ended, man. I was very impressed with that. I really like this Hawks team this year. We talked about it. Not on the we talked about it on the show a little bit, but yeah, man, they're a fun team to watch. Like I said, I definitely feel they're going to be in the playoffs. Where they position, I don't know, but I think they're going to be a tough out. They're going to definitely be a tough out. So they're going to give the East some.
I think they're tied for number 6 right now with the Heat.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but I think they can pretty much compete with anybody in the East. Hell, I even throw Milwaukee in there.
Yeah.
Which to be
they beat Milwaukee.
Yeah, and we talked about it, and I think either Milwaukee or Boston, probably Boston is probably the team to beat. But hell, I think the Hawks match up very well with Boston. So, and at one point Cleveland was the top. So
beat Cleveland twice.
Yeah, like I said, I don't
got key wins. They just lost some games because of injury. Guys get injured, didn't play, and so they lost. They're not that deep at certain positions, and so they drop games.
Yeah, but there's no one in the East that I don't see that they can't compete with. I just put it like that.
That's true.
It used to be a time where Cleveland is the team. Boston, you just like I don't see anybody, but I don't see. I mean, I think it's just, in my opinion, Brett. I think it's wide open, to be honest.
Yeah.
Whoever comes out of the East.
You're right. And Jimmy Bucket's trying to get up out of Miami anyway. He's trying to get out of there. They fined him, suspended him, or whatever. He's done playing for the Heat. But they're just trying to find a trade. First they said no trade, and now they're trying to find a trade partner, but it's tough to find a comparable trade for him. I'm hearing some stuff about Bill, but Bill has a no trade clause, believe it or not. Who does that with him? And there's only one more player in the league that has a no trade clause other than Bill. You know who that is, Over?
No, who's that?
With a no trade clause. It's only, I think, 2 players, maybe 3, only 2 players that I can think of that has a no trade clause. There's Bill and LeBron James.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit. What is that? So good luck with trying to find a trade partner for Jimmy Buckets down there in Miami. But good job. I agree with you, Hova. I think the Hawks are a very fun team to watch. Win or lose is a fun team. You got Dyson, good defensive player. Jalen Johnson, which is one of the best up and coming players in the league. He got a contract. He got a raise actually, and now you see why this kid got a raise.
Yeah,
and so once we get Clint Capella, a replacement for him, or just start Big O in his place and get some depth down at the 5-45 position, Hawks will be good to go. DeAndre Hunter's looking good coming off the bench. I think Trey's leading, or at least top 3 in the league in terms of double doubles. I think he's first in assists. He had 20 assists last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, the numbers look really good for the Hawks for certain players. Team assists, I think we're top 5, definitely top 10 in team assists. So, and I think, shoot, man, I mean, I think he had 9 assists, close to 10 assists before he even scored a point.
Right.
I haven't seen that in years since, I don't know, Jason Kidd or somebody.
Right. Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So good deal with the Hawks, man. So real quick, man. I don't know if you're watching college basketball yet, Hope.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I'm catching games here and there. I got them on now in the background just to see if something catches my eye. I got split screens on like 4 of them.
Yeah.
But the Bulldogs have a really good team, man. Bulldogs beat Kentucky last night, man.
Yeah.
You
The Bulldogs. You're
that's a
absolutely
big
right.
win.
Yeah, they beat Kentucky. And I agree with you. From what I saw, I didn't see the game, but from the highlights I've seen, um, this is a hungry Georgia team, man. I think we haven't had a
Yeah,
Georgia college basketball team like this in quite some time. I mean, I definitely see
right.
these guys making it to the tournament. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
I
what I
don't.
see.
Yeah,
They got some dog, literally speaking, but
yeah. They got dogs.
they got some dogs on that basketball team, man. I hadn't seen that type of big guy play. I mean, and they pretty deep, and
Yeah,
um, they gonna they gonna give anybody some fits with that team they got right now. And it's kind of funny because you knew the Georgia coach. That's what type of team he wanted to. It's finally starting. It seems like it's
yeah,
starting. It's starting to come together. Cause that's what he wanted to put. He
yeah,
wanted to put together a physical type of
yeah.
team that plays. But and they style of play is physical. So they're gonna.
It
Yeah,
is.
man. I can see they're gonna get some teams which we already see, but they're gonna be a tough team to beat, man, down the stretch.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, man, I picked my Georgia. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry,
man. And
I picked
so
Georgia.
Mike
My
White.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think they have a chance to win the SEC championship.
yeah, man. I mean, they do. They do. I mean, Mike White is doing an excellent job coaching since he got there. You just got to trust the process. You got to trust the process. Crew good. He's got some really good players, man. Deep team. They don't quit. They are 1-1 in the conference. They are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the SEC overall. 6 out of 16 teams. So
Yeah,
almost top 5 in the SEC. They are 13-2 overall.
yeah,
So they are not ranked at the moment. They can't keep teams ranked
yeah.
in the AP because they keep losing. So Tennessee
I think.
lost. No one team lost against Florida. They got beat down by Florida, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Florida, I was gonna say probably in the SEC right now, those two teams, Georgia and Florida, man, I think are
Yeah,
definitely gonna be tough. Florida,
yeah,
um, yeah, Florida, they got a good squad. They got a very good squad. They
yeah,
play their style of play kind of similar to Georgia. They play physical.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
But tune in next week, 8 o'clock, SEC men's basketball. Georgia is going to Tennessee. You That's a must-watch game.
yeah,
That's the must-watch game right there. Georgia's only lost 2 games on the season, and that's the Marquette, who is a ranked team, and they lost to Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is, they're one of the better teams in the SEC. I think they're like number 4 in the SEC. So, look, man, Georgia looks good. Bulldog. I mean, the football team might have, struggled a little bit, but the football, we might get to the football team. But Yeah. Basketball teams coming on strong. Hope I think they work out, man.
No, yeah, yeah,
I agree with you, man. I think SEC championship contenders. I think they're getting better, and they're gonna make the tournament. So watch out for these guys in the tournament.
absolutely.
I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people because they're deep. When you go into the tournament, a lot of teams that have a decent three ball, play good team defense, and are deep go a long way in the tournament.
Yeah,
Now, they
that's
may
true.
stumble here and there during the season, but
You there, Brad? Brad, you there? I think we have some technical difficulties here. Uh, well, while we're trying to figure that out, I'm gonna go ahead and bring on Lou.
on
I'm here,
Lou.
Helen. I'm here. I'm here.
Let's bring on Lou.
Hey, Lou.
All right. Happy New Year,
Lou,
guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
It's nice to be
Lou.
back. Thanks. Nice to be
Oh
back.
man. Oh, indeed. It feels good, man. It feels good. Everything in the world feels normal right now.
Yeah,
For the
record,
was
I'm a
missing.
Cowboy fan, so I had to throw it in.
Oh man. Yeah. So Lou, have you been watching? I know you've been watching basketball. You're a college basketball fan,
Yes.
basketball fan.
Yes.
What you think about this college basketball thing? Let's start with college basketball, man. So we were talking about the Bulldogs and that kind of stuff. Who you paying attention to, man?
Well, I haven't paid much attention to the Bulldogs. I pay attention more than for football. So I've been following the ACC, the Big East, some Pac-12. The most of the major conferences. SEC. Well, I know Kentucky is, of course, struggling. Tennessee this year. Oh boy, who would have thought they were going to be, number one so far?
Yeah.
But I'll
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you, the last couple of days there have been some pretty big upsets among top 10 teams, and it has been like a whirlwind. I mean, and big blowouts too. I mean, last night was another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time, man. Big
And
time. So
UConn lost tonight. I'll give them credit though, because they were down as low as 25 after getting as high as number 2 to start the season, and then they fell off like a cliff. Then they won 3-4 in a row, but then they lost tonight. So just when you thought that UConn was getting back into it and trying to make a run here, they hit a stumbling block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure did. So I'm trying my best to pay attention to teams, especially outside of the SEC, because March Madness will be here before you know it. Everybody wants to fill out these brackets, and I want to at least have some halfway knowledge of what's going on in the college basketball world.
Yes, you better be halfway.
Yeah. So I get have a halfway intelligent bracket.
Yes.
So yeah, man. So I think Bears. I think on the women's college front for Connecticut, she got hurt. I think she tweaked her ankle. Paige. Yep. Paige hurt. She got hurt. I think last night before last, she got hurt in the game. She tweaked. She'll be out for a couple of days, maybe a week, but she'll be out for a little bit. Yeah. It sucked.
See, that's I think that'd be the WNBA's next superstar. I think.
I agree. That's the next one coming up. I agree. Big expectations. Connecticut coming up with her and seeing what they can do. Not as much for South Carolina. One of their main players went out the other night for the year. I think she got a torn ACL. I forget her name. But it sucked so bad. So yeah, I will be tuning in probably to, like I said, all they're showing right now is men's basketball. But if it was women's basketball game on, I'm watching it. It's good. Yeah, so Lou, you watching the NBA? I know. Did you catch that Hawks game last night, or at least the highlights?
I didn't get a chance to see it, but I heard about it. I'm like, what? How do you make a shot like that anyway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. You think
I
it was
mean,
going
he's
to
got.
overtime? 99% of the time, with that much time left, no
Yeah,
timeouts. Yeah, you need a desperation shot to win, and you got it.
he got it.
You got it. Yeah.
He got it, man. He's got range. Everybody knows Trae Young has range anyway.
Yes, that's true.
But you don't see that all the time.
Right.
You don't
Definitely not.
you don't always see the buzzer beaters like that. And plus, you thought it was two buzzer beaters. It was almost two in a row because
Yeah.
the play before that was a 3-point shot, and you would assume you're going into overtime. So it would have been an incredible 3-point shot to take Utah into overtime. And come to find out that no, you're not going to overtime. Trae's like, not going to do it.
Not my house, you're not.
No, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Ice cold.
Right.
So that was good stuff. That was good stuff. So look, guys, we got to talk football. I'm sorry. We got to talk. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, we do.
We got to talk football.
You're fired. You're fired edition.
Oh man, look. So look.
Well, I mean,
so
Black Monday was just 2 days ago.
oh man, look. Let me start with these Bulldogs, man. Let me start with these Bulldogs. We lost bowl game, lost Sugar Bowl to Notre Dame, and I told a coworker of mine, I was like, look, man, it's about 3 weeks ago. I said, look, I don't know what's going to happen with Georgia. I'm happy that we won the SEC. All bets are off. Happy we won the SEC. That was a good win against Texas. All bets are off because this has not been one of the better teams that we've had in a while. They're good, but this is not a championship team. At least I was like, if we make it to the championship by some kind of way, we're not winning the championship. It's just we've seen championship teams now. We know what they look like. We see the signs. This was not it. I think the team last year probably should have made it to the championship.
Yeah.
That was a championship worthy team because you still had Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey that would have been healthy for that game. They were not healthy for the SEC championship, but they were healthy for the championship game.
Right.
So nobody in that top four had, Washington, Michigan, or anybody had anyone that could cover Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey in the same game.
Right.
So with that being said, we lose the game to Notre Dame. It wasn't close. It was close in the first half almost in the first half until we made those mistakes. Yeah, man. I mean,
I'll tell you something, guys. As I was watching the game, and I thought, well, okay, their top quarterback is out, so they got to get him a backup. I think I kind of know something right then and there because I thought maybe this would be Notre Dame's chance, to steal the victory because you never know what to expect with a backup quarterback. And I really thought with that happening, I thought Notre Dame could probably steal the victory, which they did. I mean, I thought maybe it'd be a little bit closer, but Notre Dame just walked all over them.
Yeah, it was, I think, this team, I think that, and funny with the quarterback, I think the quarterback Gunnar Stockton played pretty well. He played pretty well, actually. The problem with Georgia was what's been plaguing them all season. Receivers dropping balls. Turnovers.
Yeah.
Somebody, we didn't block like we normally block. That left side, man, was atrocious. He was getting beat like a drum. And that never happens to our offensive line. Got beat like a drum. Quarterback didn't feel it. Sack fumble, right before the half. Then there was a fumble. We were in the red zone. I think, Travis Etienne fumbled the ball. I mean, but that was because we didn't block. They sent the house, and they sent more men than we could block. How often does that happen? But that's because some of that is on your quarterback. Because I think that Carson Beck would have called the right protection for that. He would have seen that. he
Yeah.
reads the defense a little bit better because of the experience. Gunnar Stockton just didn't have the experience or game time experience to kind of catch that kind of stuff, kind of change the protection.
Right.
So that's when your quarterback, then your offensive coordinator, Bobo couldn't do nothing about that. That was on your quarterback, but he only went into the game of what he had experience with.
Right.
And the defense, I think overall the defense played well because they held Notre Dame about 13 points, 13 maybe 16 points,
Right.
and Notre Dame scored that touchdown right after the half that return.
Yeah.
So all of those kind of things right there. I think Notre Dame just played more of a disciplined game than Georgia, which is
They did.
unusual. It was
Absolutely.
just very disciplined. I mean, they didn't have to pass the ball very much. You knew what they were going to do, and they didn't even have that top running back playing. But the offensive line was filled. They played Georgia's game against Georgia. They beat Georgia at their own game, what Georgia usually does. The other teams, this is the first team a team used that playbook and used Georgia's own playbook on them. And you can't hate on Notre Dame for that. As a Georgia fan, hey, they won fair and square. They were the better team that night.
Right.
What you got on there, Hope?
Yeah, man. I feel, my same sentiments on it. I think, Notre Dame, we talked about it. I felt like this game was going to be close, and I felt like whoever can, not make the costly mistakes, and not, um, turn the ball over and things like that, had the chances of winning the game,
Yeah.
and that's how it played out. Um, so you know that just the way it is. But I think, but overall, I mean, going now looking at tomorrow's games with
Yes.
Notre Dame against Penn State and Texas and Ohio State, uh, I'm not impressed. Like I told you, Brad, I'm not impressed with
Yeah.
Notre Dame, and I'm really not impressed with Penn State. So,
Hmm.
flip a coin. I got to flip a coin. Who do you
It's a tough
like in
game.
that? Who do you like in that, Lou? At Notre Dame, Penn State.
I really can't tell. This is gonna be a tough game. I mean, this is not gonna be. It's not gonna be easy. I mean, both have their ups. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, it's really tough. I don't know if Notre Dame has the capability of trying to be maybe at Penn State. I think Penn State might be a little bit stronger on their offense. So if I were a betting man, I think I'd go with Penn State.
I'm gonna have to agree with Lou on that. I thought about it, and then I, you know, I think out of the two, I think Penn State may have just a slight edge.
Very slight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very slight.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm going the other way with it. I'm going with Vegas on this one. Vegas got Notre Dame by 1.5, and this one, which is a very slight edge. I agree with you guys in terms of it's anybody's game. Anybody can win. I'm not surprised either way. But I just, I'm not overly impressed by either one of their quarterbacks. Uh, I just think that, if Notre Dame is consistent and play the same type of disciplined game that they did against Georgia, I think Notre Dame wins this game. Again, I just think that uh, Franklin's gonna find a way to screw the pooch in this one on the big stage.
Yeah,
What Penn State does, man, they just screw the pooch in big games.
right.
Who you guys have in the Texas Ohio State game? Game on Friday.
Well, Ohio State is the hot team right now, um, and rightfully so. They got two NFL ready receivers. They've been playing good defense. Texas, on the other hand, they had all they could handle with with Arizona
Arizona
State.
State. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know. I just don't. I think now, just for me, Texas just hasn't really been the same since they lost against Georgia. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. I don't. they just hadn't seemed to me to be the same team. That was like you felt like were just world beaters and nobody had a chance. I don't know. They just seem vulnerable right now. That's just what I see.
No, yeah.
And Brandon, we talked about this, and I think one of the biggest things with Texas that has been exposed is the kicker. That damn kicker. that Hey man, I wouldn't put $5 on that. Man, I wouldn't put. Hey man, I wouldn't put my lunch money on that Texas kicker. You know what was funny during that game against Arizona State? The head coach, okay, and he did what any other coach. He like, look, man, I know you missed the kick. I'm gonna talk to you, make you feel good, let you know, hey, we can't win this without you. You know, just let you know that hey, we behind you 100%. And what that
Mhm.
go right out there, don't don't. So I I don't. I
Sorry,
mean,
you split over.
if it comes to a close game where Texas need to win with a field goal, I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. So that's
They go for it.
so that's my 2 cents on Texas. What you got on it, Brad?
You got Ohio State winning that one?
I got Ohio State winning that one, man.
Lou, who you got in that one? Ohio State or Texas?
Despite the fact of what Brett said, I'm still going to go with Texas anyway.
I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna go with Ohio State in this game. You know, I agree with Homer, and I think that something about the Georgia game mentally and physically kind of took the air out of themselves. You know, they're a very talented team.
Yeah.
You know, you lost 2 games to Georgia, and I think it was a very physical game for them. Playing Georgia, it's physical. They turn around and uh, Arizona State was a lot more physical than they probably thought. So 2 back-to-back games for those guys, man. I think it's going to take its toll. I just think that Ohio State is maturing at the right time. Everything is coming together at the right time. They were kind of sleepwalking all the way through the season. And so I think Ohio State, I think Jeremiah Smith is the best receiver in the country. Makes that quarterback look a whole lot much better than what he is. And I think Ohio State can win the whole thing, man. I think Ohio State can win the whole thing.
I
So I'm
agree.
going Ohio State. I think Ohio State wins by by I think they win by 3. I think that dog I think that dog go field goal kickers go miss it.
You
I
said
mean,
what
What's
go
that,
ahead,
Lou?
Lou.
who would have thought the Oregon were going down just like that in flames?
Oh man, they went down in flames too. Oh
Yeah, well,
man.
Oregon didn't even show up. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that was
don't know.
bad.
I don't know if they just had too much time. That layoff was just too much for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But going back to your point, yeah, that Texas kid.
Yeah, they got 3, man. I think Texas will fight, man. But you know, if you need that field goal, man, he ain't gonna get it.
Hey, all I gotta say is, man, maybe if they can get him going early, the kick one, that'll get it going, man. But I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
That guy's he's pretty shaky.
Yeah. Well, he's shaking it.
He's kind of shaky.
What he say? He's shaking at a strip on a Friday night.
I mean, even the ones where he did, when he did make it, it was still,
Yeah,
you were still crossing your fingers. So I don't know, man. I don't
yeah,
know about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So we'll see. I just really don't know if I like having these types of games on a Thursday we're rid of Thursday night.
Yeah.
Friday, I don't mind too much of Friday weekend. But I prefer weekend games, Friday, Saturday, just playing both on Saturday.
Well,
just don't put it on Thursday.
No, because you can, because that interferes with the NFL playoffs.
Well, yeah, that's that.
You're right, Luke. You're right. I forgot all about that. Yeah, you're right.
Two major ones this thing. Like,
yeah.
All right, what the hell are you doing?
I get it, but the NFL has been, they've been throwing their muscle all over everybody all year though. They throwing their muscle all over. You already got Thanksgiving. You turn right back around Christmas and you poo-pooing all over the NBA on Christmas. Now you spreading all over college football. NFL is just all over the place, man. They just like, they don't care anymore. Yeah, there's just no.
It seems like to me, yeah, you're right. I mean, NFL is all over the place. I mean, they're getting a taste of everything, even on these streaming platforms. That's what's so interesting. I mean, they did. No, seriously. Yeah. I mean, you're right, Lou. They did Netflix on Christmas, right? Exactly. And now this weekend, you can only catch, I think, one of the games on Prime. So
yeah.
Well, good news. I got Prime.
I got Prime too.
Yeah, I got Prime. I just got installed 2 weeks ago.
Go ahead, Lou. Yes,
I got Prime and Peacock.
Yeah,
all right.
Go ahead, Lou. Welcome.
Losing business.
Losing business. I got to get Peacock back. I got Peacock. That's I have Peacock. It's the other one that I don't have. It's Piedmont, whatever you call it. I get Paramount. That's the one.
Well, Netflix doesn't show many. I mean, they're just going to show the NFL games on Christmas, and then that's that. At least Prime, you get a game every week.
Yeah. Yep.
Netflix service is not that good anyway.
So look, guys. Just real quick, and I'm going to move on to NFL. But how you guys feel about this 12-team bracket in college football? Is it working for you, or should it have been 8 games instead of 12, or are you feeling the rumors about the expansion, the 16 or what?
8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we've been just fine.
Yeah. And if you notice, all of the teams that had a bye lost.
Yep.
I don't know what that's all about, but all the bye teams had a loss. Hogan, what you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I think it. I think it make it more entertaining, or I think you can get some of the what they call it, fair weather people who didn't watch college or college football now, start to watch it because you got this playoff system. You're attracting a whole. I think you're attracting a larger audience. But I like it so far. I think it is. I know some people have been kind of critical about the teams that made it, but I like the new format. Kind of, it kind of. I don't know about you guys. To me, it kind of reminds me of NFL format. It's the NFL format.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Because you think you got wild card teams and
Yeah. I think you're hitting on all cylinders with that whole. I mean, you still incorporated the bowls. You make them meaningful for a change. These bowls are meaningful. And I agree. I mean, everybody wants to watch the tournament, and that way the teams that move on, you want to see what happens. It writes its own script. So I love it. I like the 12-team playoff. I just think that it should either be 8 or 16. My reasoning for 8 or 16 is that I don't like the bye week for the teams. I don't like the byes. I don't think that works. I think teams need to continue on and play. All of them need to continue on and play. Keep the momentum going. I think they got cold, momentum lost. and the other teams were lathered and ready to go. So just give me 8 or 16. I don't like the 12.
Well, I kind of disagree. I think
Mm-hmm.
I like the bye week for the simple reason I think it makes it more, I think it makes it more appealing. I think it gives it a little bit more um, substance. Because
Mm-hmm.
think about it, if you should earn the right to have a bye, and maybe that gives you some time to get healthy,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and gives
Yeah.
you that kind of give you the it should give you the edge.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um, you know what I'm saying? But I get your point. But I think I like the buy. I think the buy.
mm-hmm.
I think it serves its purpose because Georgia. I mean, they won the SEC championship, but they really needed. I think they really needed uh uh some time to get healthy because they were banged up.
Yeah, yeah. They're
They
real
had, of
banged up.
course, I mean, they had a hell of a schedule, man. So,
Mm-hmm.
they had been battle tested. I mean, out of I think out of all the seasons, so up to now, I think this has definitely been the season where they were battle tested like hell. So,
Yeah.
Like
and
hell.
they get well, they but they, but they definitely had a lot more tread on the tires.
They did. No doubt
Because
about
think
that.
about it. I mean, especially that Georgia Tech game. How many damn overtimes? I don't know, 7 or 9
8.
or.
It's 8 overtime.
And so
Yeah,
count.
yeah,
I mean, so think about it. That's almost like playing damn 2 games in one day.
yeah. And plus, you had overtime in the SEC championship.
Well,
Well,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
a lot, man. That's a
It-
lot.
yeah. It's a lot, but they still lost. And so my point is, if this time next year, and it's gonna be the same thing next year, but in terms of the format. But if at least 3 out of the 4 teams, if not all of the teams that have buys lose again, then we got to get rid of the buys.
Yeah.
But if the buys work, maybe if it was just a flukish thing this year,
Yeah.
okay. But if next year, if all 4 of them lose again, or if 3 out of 4 of them cats lose next year, I don't know. You probably gonna have to get rid of the buys because teams are getting
You
rested
might
and they're
have.
not winning. Say that again, Lou.
If that happens again next year, I think you might have to get rid of the buys.
Yep, yep. And so it's something about that. It's almost kind of like like this wild card thing in baseball. But I won't get into baseball. We got about another 30 days until spring camp, Lou.
At least.
Yeah, 30, a little over 30 days. Look, guys, NFL football playoffs are here.
Yes.
And we're gonna do some picks in a minute. But before we get to the picks, man, our season is over. As Falcon fans, our season is over. As Jets fans, the only one who's still playing is Diane's team, which is the Buffalo Bills. Tell Diane congratulations for us, Lou.
She says hello to you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
so say
yeah.
hello. We miss her. We want to,
Yeah.
she can
Yeah.
show it. We'd be happy to have a part of the show. But yeah, so Falcons finished 8-9, game better than we did a year ago. We lost the games in many different ways, man. In any ways that you can lose a game, the Falcons have creatively found different ways to lose all 9 of our games, whether it be bad coaching, bad quarterback play, kicker sucked, or the defense sucked. Or you just had drop passes that day. Couldn't score points. It was the offense. We found different ways to lose all of those games. It was never the same way, except for the quarterback. Right. Quarterback lost 3 games for us.
Right.
So very disappointing season, but there is a silver lining, guys. Michael Penix Jr. is that guy. Michael Penix Jr. is that guy.
You think Rookie of the Year?
No, I think that he didn't play enough games. Yeah, I think Jalen Daniels gets Rookie of the Year. because I don't think Penix played long enough.
Right.
But Falcons got one. We got one. We got a quarterback. So I'm happy he can really spin. As they say, the kid can spin the pill. So I'm happy about the shiny pieces on offense. Drake London looks really good. One of the top receivers in the league. Top running duo in the league. We got to get a center. And think about a left tackle. If we get anybody on offense, you can pick up a tight end from nowhere. Let Pitts go. Waive him. Don't get me started on Kyle Pitts. Don't like the guy. Anybody that says I just work here, you got to get him out of here. The defense, we got a lot of work, guys. That front seven, we got the worst front seven in the league. I think we're too small and too slow. You cannot be too small. You can just be one or the other. You can be big and slow, but you can't. Or you can be small and fast, but you can't be small and slow in your front seven. Sorry. So Falcons got to do better. We've been looking for defense and pass rush for 10 years. And the only thing, the common denominator in terms of why we do not have that type of defense is Rich McKay. We talk about that later on. But that's my 2 cents on the Atlanta Falcons. So my grade for the Atlanta Falcons is the same grade I give the coach. I give it for a first-year coach, I give it a C-.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think definitely a C-.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I give him C- this year, man. So I think there's promise on offense. We need a new kicker. I like Koo. I think Koo's hurt, and when a guy has a bad hip, when your kicker has a bad hip, that's kind of that's where all of his power and everything comes is from the hip. And so I don't know if he recovers from that. We need a kicker, but like I said, stuff like a kicker, tight end, even a center, we can get that in the draft. Or we can draft that for little or nothing and get somebody out there on the waiver or somewhere for little or nothing to get some. Don't know about the center player, and we may have to go through this draft for the center and the left tackle. But I don't think that's going to be costly. Defense is going to cost us. We're going to need more than the draft. We don't have a whole lot of money to spend. We're going to have to let go a lot of name players that we like. Onyemata's going to have to go. Grady Jarrett, which is one of my favorite players on the Falcons, going to have to go. And a couple of other favorites that are not on rookie deals are going to have to go. I think you have Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell and everybody else. That's what they like that. So that's my 2 cents on the Falcons. What you got, Homer?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to invest on the defense. Try to at least get some kind of pass rush. I think that's really what's all really missing, man. Just overall, that defense got to improve because if not, we're gonna have the same type of season that we had this season.
Yep.
So hopefully they can address that.
Yeah, and I think Blake, the defensive coordinator, is probably gonna get up out of here. Somebody got to be the sacrificial lamb. I think Raheem will get off on a warning. He'll be back. I don't think he fired Raheem Morris after a year. I think there's some things there. So a lot of people try to talk about Zach Robinson, but I mean, I think his quarterback is saving it. So, I think Zach Robinson will be okay, the offensive coordinator. So Lou, tell us about the Jets, man. What's going to happen with the Jets in the offseason, man?
Well, they need to do everything. They need a new GM. They need a new coach. They need new fans. They need people in the broadcast booth. Everything. I mean, they want a whole fire sale, and they
concessions.
Hey Lou, do you think Rex Ryan? You think he's gonna come back?
Well, It's a possibility. I mean, he even thinks himself he's 100% sure that he'll be back. I mean, he seems like a good fit for it. You know, he did take us to 2 championship titles, but there was a lot of other problems, in the later years. So, it's tough to say because there's a lot of other, coaches that are also for grabs too, and it's a pretty big list here. I mean, they did speak to Varble as well as a few. I mean, I got a whole list here of who they're looking for. It's a you know pretty big list. I mean,
So
Yeah.
you got the Broncos defensive coordinator
yeah,
or
yeah.
Matt Nagy of the Chiefs offensive coordinator. That's gonna be a good. That's gonna be good. I think that might be a good choice right there.
Mm,
Or maybe the Steelers Arthur Smith. I'm looking at one of those two choices to be honest with you. I mean, I
mm,
don't know if Rex and Carey or he's been out for so long
mm,
now, and I think maybe Smith or Nagy might have a good chance here because they know how to win games and make teams go get into the playoffs and you know maybe make it a Super Bowl. I mean, what happened his first year? No, probably not. But at least they might stand a better chance. Well, on them. Riverboat Run,
yeah,
I don't
right.
know.
Yeah,
I'm not going alone.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I don't know about that one either, Lou. He's been out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I know you guys love Rabel, but I think that Kraft.
bring
I think Robert Kraft wants him to come to New England. I think the fans want to come to New England. I think they wanted
yes,
him all along. I just hate that they strung Mayo along for a season. You he makes this sad story, very complimentary of him, almost too complimentary of him. But you let him go. So
yeah,
it's just. I mean, but look, Vrabel was the guy all along for him anyway. But I'm like, shoot, why did you get him as a stopgap? Just say, I would have done something else. But at any rate, we all know that Robert Kraft wants Vrabel to come back home, and we'll see what happens if he's able to lure him in, or if he's able to lure him back
yeah.
without violations of tampering,
Violation.
without tampering violations. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
So, guys, let's go for it. All of our teams are out. I'm still watching football. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm done with football, although a lot of fans are, but I'm still watching. So let's go with some picks, guys. Let's start with the AFC. Chiefs got a bye, and so we got the Texans and the Chargers. The Texans are the number 4 seed, Chargers number 5 seed. Hover, who you got in there?
That's not. Yeah. I'm gonna go with. No, go repeat that again, Brad. Let me make sure I
It's
got
the
heard something.
Houston Texans and the LA Chargers.
Oh man, that's an interesting game. I'm gonna go with the Chargers, man. I just think the Chargers are playing probably better football than Houston right now.
Mm-hmm. Who you got in that one, Lou? The Chargers or the Texans?
I gotta go with the Chargers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going Chargers too. I think they're playing good ball. Something about the Texans is not clicking as much. So I'm going Chargers, and I think Baker's is going with the Chargers by 3. All right, and next game is the Ravens versus the Steelers. Who you got in that one, Luke?
I think I gotta go with the Ravens.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah, I gotta go with the Ravens. Steelers are just they play good defense, but you just can't trust that offense.
No,
mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
that's the problem. I mean, it's inconsistent. Um, Yeah, you just can't trust that offense. I got to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I likewise. I'm going Ravens, and Vegas likes the Ravens by 9.5 in that one. For the same reasons that you had. So we got the Bills versus the Broncos. Lou, who you got in that one?
Diane, you better be listening because I'm gonna go with the Bills.
All right, all right, all right.
Mm,
Over, who you got in this one?
yeah, got to go with the Bills. Surprisingly, Bo Nix has been playing pretty good ball.
Yeah,
Denver does play pretty good defense.
yeah,
So I think they're gonna make it a competitive game. But I gotta go with Josh Allen. Yeah, I gotta go with Josh Allen.
yeah. I agree with you all the way on this one, Ho. But I think that it'll be a competitive game. I mean, strictly because I think that Sean Payton, as much as we don't like him, if you got a coach, man, I mean, he's been coaching this guy up. And so whenever you got a combination of a coach quarterback combo, it's a dangerous connection. But not yet. Not yet. So I'm going Buffalo. So tell Diane she's got a sweep on the Brandon Hogan show. All of us are going for Buffalo.
Right.
Vegas likes Buffalo too by 8.5. All right, guys, let's go on to the NFC. The Lions have a bye. Got the number 1 seed. They're playing probably, other than the Chiefs, they're playing the best ball out of anybody. They look pretty dangerous even with the injuries. So, look, man, let's talk about the Rams and the Vikings. Who wins that game between the Rams and the Vikings? Hobo.
Oh man, it's gonna be an interesting game. Um, I, I don't know, man. I'm leaning more toward the Rams. I think only because that Vikings game against Detroit. I don't know. I see some things that their quarterback. I don't. I think he might have got exposed a little bit.
Yeah.
He has kind of made me think about Matt Ryan a little bit. He has a hard time with man coverage. Um, and it showed. He was
Yeah.
overthrowing, and he just was. It was tough. It was hard for him,
Yeah.
and he's definitely going to see man coverage when he plays the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
So.
That defense going to be thorough.
So yeah, give me the Rams on that one, man. I think Matthew Stafford is gonna outplay the other QB.
Yeah, the core, he's going. So, Lou, who do you have in that game between the Vikings and the Rams?
Yeah, my hands in there. I think I'll go with the Rams.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lou. I'm going with the Rams. In that one, I think the Rams are kind of finding their groove again.
Yes.
And so I think they may be a dark horse. But Vegas likes Minnesota. But Vegas can't be perfect on this, and so I think Vegas is going to miss this game. I think the Lions found something out with these Vikings. Rams took notes, and they're going to do the same thing.
Right.
Buccaneers versus Commanders. Hobo.
Should be an interesting game. Give me the Bucks. I think I like Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's been on my fantasy. I love the way he plays, but I just don't think. I think I just don't think he's gonna. I think it's gonna be a competitive game, but I don't know, man. Something about those Bucks. They. but but to the Bucks' credit, their defense hasn't been really playing that good either, though.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington win this, but I'm going with Tampa Bay. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored.
Yeah. Yeah, not a bad pick, Hope. Not a bad pick. I mean, Tampa, they know how to win games. That's one thing that I think that Baker Mayfield has really done a good job in leading that team. Who you got in this one, Lou? You got the Bucks or the Commanders?
I don't know the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm with Lou. I'm going with Commanders in this one, man. Vegas likes Tampa Bay by 3. All right, last pick, guys. Eagles versus the Packers. Lou, who do you have in this one?
As much as I don't want to do it, I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Over.
This game was in Philly.
It should have been Philly. Yeah, because Philly, Eagles have the number 2 seed.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go with Philly, man. I think Philly. They're they're a tough team when they're playing the way they can play. I think they can beat anybody. But I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay win by a field goal.
Interesting. I don't know, man. Packers is just jerky for me. If they use, the right receivers, if they use Reed like they're supposed to, they usually better when they use Reed. But when Love is not looking for Reed and he's looking at Watson and all these other guys on the squad, they all right. But I think that you got to have Jacobs, a battle between Jacobs and Reed for them to pull off an upset. Otherwise, Eagles going to be the Eagles, man. So I'm going Eagles in this one by 3. I think the Philly Vegas likes Philly also by 4.5.
Yeah.
So that's the picks and we'll see where we end up, guys, with that a full slate weekend or week of football, starting with college football tomorrow and Friday, and playoffs this weekend all the way through Monday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days of playoff football, fellas. This is Christmas. It keeps on giving for us. So all right, we at that hour. Lou, take us home, man.
All right, Enhanced Sports Show is back. We came back last week. We're still the same time and number 512-543-4662. I'll repeat 512-543-4662 from 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday. Yeah, we'll discuss the NFL first round playoffs and the college football semifinals. It's also Black Monday, so we're going to discuss all the coaching firings, and of course a few that didn't get fired, which kind of shocked I think everybody. NBA, NHL. I'm going to try to do the Pro Football Hall of Fame nominees. I wanted to wait till I got down to a lower list because I don't think I can do all 15 in the same day. MLB Hot Stove reports, NHL and ML and NBA, and WWE and UFC wrestling, along with your thoughts, the ridiculous side of the week, sports trivia, this week in sports history, and the feel-good story of the week. So if you got time between 4 and 6 p.m., even though it's going to run the first game of the day, please call 512-543-4662 to join the show, as we are now off and running with our 8th season.
Congratulations, Lou.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Nice. Well, with that, appreciate that, Lou. We're going to try and join the show this weekend. And we want to thank everybody for joining the Braden Hope Show, the first of many, and the first one for 2025. And so until next time, speak on it.
Speak on it.
Good night.
Good night.